Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is on self-acceptance and the importance of it and how to do it. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel for more, and as always, comment down below anything you'd like me to talk about, or if you'd rather do it privately, DM me on Instagram and I would love to help you. Okay, self-acceptance is so important for literally every single person in the world. It's not just for those who have recovered from an eating disorder or struggled mentally. It is so key for every single person, because when you don't have self-acceptance, it will literally just drain you emotionally, physically, mentally. It will be so draining, because until you accept yourself, you will not have the most fulfilling life that you can. When you don't accept yourself, your mind will be so fixated on these little things that annoy you or frustrate you or you just hate. It could be something physically, so like a body feature, or it could be how you feel. Like you might get annoyed that, you know, you're tired and you missed doing something, and you know, you don't accept that you are human and you need times where you just have a break, or you know, you accept that you make mistakes. All these little things add up, and when you can accept all those things, that is self-acceptance. And when you have it, you will have such a happier life, such a more fulfilled life, because you can put your energy into doing the actual things in life rather than getting caught up in your brain on yourself and how you look and how you feel. It's so important. There are several different things that are really key to self-acceptance. It's not only just about your physical self. That is a large part of it. Accepting how you look, the parts of you don't like, accepting every single feature that you have. But as I said, it's also accepting the things out with your physical side. So I think I'll talk about both of them today. Starting with the physical, kind of how you look side of things, which is something I definitely struggled with, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this will as well. Self-acceptance is, for me, it's not necessarily as far as self-love. There definitely is an overlap, but it's not necessarily as far as I absolutely love myself. Self-acceptance is acknowledging things you like about yourself and also the things you don't like about yourself, and realizing that that's okay. It's normal to not like everything about yourself, but accepting that they are there and they make you you, and that you're not going to do anything to try to change those things you don't like. To be able to do this, I would say, think of the things that you do like about yourself. Now, liking things about yourself is, you should like things about yourself. It doesn't make you arrogant. It doesn't make you full of yourself. It is completely normal. So for me, I like my blue eyes. I like my hair. I like my quads. They're nice and strong. Think of the things that you like about yourself and don't say nothing. Force yourself to acknowledge things that you like about yourself. That is the first key, because you're starting that positivity already. Then think and acknowledge the things that you don't like about yourself, or you feel insecure about, or you know, you just wish were smaller or bigger, or whatever it may be, or you wish it wasn't there. For example, for me, the inside of my thighs has always been something I've been insecure about. You know, the little bit that bulges out when you have a sports bra on. My hips, I have wide hips naturally. It could be anything. It might be that you have freckles or you have a birthmark, anything. Acknowledge those things that you don't like. And what I would say to do to force yourself into acceptance is, and this is what I did, force yourself to look at yourself in the mirror. Stand in front of a mirror, just you, nobody else in the room, obviously, and just look at those, specifically those things that you don't like. Because when I was really bad mentally, if I caught a glimpse of those things I hated, I would immediately like look away because they just made me so angry and so like annoyed. So now if there's something that, you know, builds up and I'm like, oh, I'm just not feeling too great about that, I will force myself to look in the mirror, look at that thing that I don't like, whether it be my hips or my legs or whatever it is. And if you look long enough, the emotion will go away. You're removing that kind of instant anger or frustration or, you know, emotion, like if you're getting upset about it. If you look long enough, the rational part of your brain will kick in and go, it's just a body part. You know, it's just a feature. It's just your legs. It's just skin. It's just flesh. It doesn't detract from you. It doesn't make you any less of a person. If you look long enough, that immediate, oh my God, like it's awful, that will go away. And once you do that, think about those parts that you don't like. It's okay not to like them, but they are what make you you. You know, like I naturally have bigger legs. I always have, obviously except when I was ill. And I have now come to accept that I will always have bigger legs. When I'm healthy and a good weight and I eat a good amount of food and I exercise, I naturally have bigger legs. That doesn't make me any less of a good person. It doesn't make me unhealthy. It just makes me me. And the sooner that I can accept, that I could accept that that is me, it's okay for me not to like them, that's fine. But I'm not going to do anything to try and make them smaller because I've done that before and my life went to shit. You know, you've tried changing it before and it didn't work out. So, you know, try accepting them and, you know, your life could be so much better. Realizing that although you don't like them, they are there. Like there's nothing you can do to change the fact they are there. Yeah, okay, you can try and lose weight and change them or cover them up with makeup, but that's not being authentic to yourself. You know, if you have freckles and you don't want them and you try to cover them up, but you're not being authentically you then. If you can get to a place where you can live your life being so authentically you that you're not trying to change yourself for anybody or any validation, you're not trying to cover up parts of you that you don't like, then you will just enjoy your life so much more. You will enjoy what is actually life, like actually going and doing things and not getting caught up in your head of how you look or how other people might perceive you. If you can get to that stage, I guarantee you your life will be so much happier. And something that really helped me get to the point of self-acceptance was realizing that every single person on this planet will have something that they're insecure about. Think of, you know, American supermodels. Think of Kendall Jenner. Guarantee you there is something that she doesn't like about herself. And you might think, oh, that's crazy because it's Kendall Jenner. She's stunning. She is stunning. But, you know, there will be something that she goes, oh my God, I don't really like that. Or I don't like that about me. Or, you know, I wish I could change that. There will be something that she wishes she could change, but we still look at her and think she's the absolute pinnacle of beauty. Also, the thing that you wish away, the thing that you wish you could change or make smaller or whatever it is, there will be somebody else on the planet that is wishing for that thing. So for me, I might be wishing my big legs away. There will be somebody on this planet that will look at me and go, God, I wish I had her legs. Now, to me, a few years ago, I'd be like, are you crazy? But it's so true, you know, freckles. You might be insecure about your freckles, but right now on TikTok, there's a trend about painting on your freckles. If you have curly hair, you always want straight hair, and if you have straight hair, you always want curly hair. We're never happy with what we have, and that was just, I think, really important for me because it made me realize, like, if you are caught within that thinking, it's such a vicious circle because it never ends. Okay, I might want curly hair and, you know, I don't even know if this is possible, but say I got a curly hair transplant, I'm not going to be fully happy then. There'll be something else I will find that I wish I could change. I might want skinnier legs, but then once I had skinnier legs, there will be something else, and it's just this never-ending circle of constantly wanting something different, wanting to change yourself, and then constantly aspiring after these things and never actually being in the moment and being in your life and like just living your life, going out with your friends, going out with your boyfriend, not being caught up in, oh, I'm going to a party but I don't like the way I look in this dress, and then the whole night you're not even enjoying the party because you're so consumed with how you look in this dress. Like, you might not realize how much it actually does consume you and how much it plays a part in your life. Whereas if you get to a point where you accept who you are and what you look like and how much you weigh or whatever it is, your life is so much more enjoyable because you don't even pay attention to these little irrelevant things that currently just consume your brain. And another thing that also helped me with self-acceptance of like my body is acknowledging and accepting that throughout my life my weight will fluctuate and your weight will fluctuate. Firstly, you know, throughout your life so many different things will happen. You know, if you're a really sporty person, you might become injured, you can't work out anymore. If you're a woman, you might become pregnant, you could become ill for a period of time, you might go away on like an amazing lovely holiday for a month, whatever it may be, and these things may stop you from exercising, or you know, you might be introduced to different foods, or you might not have time to work out, whatever it may be, and that may cause your weight to change. You know, you might gain weight, and if I can't accept myself at this weight and this with the way that I look currently, if that then changes, well then I'm never going to accept that. So I think if you can acknowledge that and kind of expect a change in weight to come, then when it does happen, there's no emotion attached to it, there's no negativity attached to it. And again, it just allows you to live your life so much more. I mean, do you want to become pregnant and then be sad because you're like, oh, I'm going to gain weight? Like, that's just so ridiculous. Or if you become injured and you're a sporty person, that's already awful because you can't do your sport anymore. And then do you want to make your mental state 10 times worse because you're then scared, oh, I'm going to gain weight? So you can see like just how mentally consuming it all is. So if you can accept that, you know, your weight will fluctuate throughout your life. And also, I mean, you can't expect age 17 to be the weight that you were age 11. Similarly, as you grow older, like your weight will change. If you can go with the flow of that, then once again, you'll just be so much happier and so much in the moment of life and not consumed by these so irrelevant thing that is your weight. Now, if you're someone that talks very negatively to themselves, has that kind of toxic little voice in their head, something that really helped me with that was when I caught myself saying that awful thing, whatever it was, I said to myself, right, imagine I said that to my little cousin, or, you know, imagine you say it to your little brother or sister or your friend or your mom. Would you say that to them? Absolutely not. That voice in your head will be the worst critic ever in your life, ever. We are so self-critical and so horrible to ourselves. We would never ever say what we say to ourselves to someone else. But imagine you were forcing yourself to say that to someone else. You know, you might look at yourself and go, God, your thighs are disgusting. Like, I wish I could just chop them off, whatever it is. Imagine saying that to your 3-year-old little sister. Imagine going, oh, your legs look awful, you should chop them off. You would never say that. So I kind of told myself every bad thing that I think and that I say to myself, I'm saying it to my sister, or I'm saying it to my friend. Like, imagine if you caught them saying it about themselves. What would you say to that? What would your reaction be? And that, I like said that enough times to myself where I did stop talking to myself so negatively. But even when I did talk to myself negatively, I almost had this angel come in and be like, shut up. Like, it will help, thinking like that will help reduce the amount of negative talk you have. But I mean, I think we are, as a society, we are so critical of ourselves. But if you can, you know, work this through your brain, you will get to a point where you will have that angel that will be like, shut up. I mean, bad angel may not like my legs, but you know, this one's saying, but they're strong as hell. They let me do all this stuff. And it's learning that kind of counterbalance that's allowing this self-acceptance, that is then allowing this like happier mental state and this positivity. and it's so, so important. Now, with self-acceptance, it's not only acceptance of your physical self and how you look, it's also acceptance of like things you do and the way you act, things like that. So for example, like at uni and at school and at work, we're all expected to go a million miles an hour and be in 1,000 different places at once and do this and do that. Like at school, I mean, I obviously had my schoolwork and I did hockey and I was in the chapel choir, I did drama, I did like club hockey, I did regional hockey, I did international hockey. I did all these things and was still expected to, you know, get A stars in my work, and was still expected to, you know, like help out in house, and there's all these things. You're stretched so thin, and there are a point, like, you're human, there's a point where you're just like, oh my god, like what is going on? Where am I meant to be? What am I meant to be doing? Like, what are these deadlines? What deadlines have, like, your brain just does kind of go into overdrive, and you'll find times where you're, I mean, sometimes it can manifest itself through like actual physical illness, and that would happen to me. I would actually become ill because I was doing so much. But other times, you know, it's just, you just get that absolute exhaustion where it's like, God, I can't do that right now. And when I started to feel like that, I used to be so critical of myself and so like, God, you're a failure, like, how can you not do that? Whereas like upon reflection, I was like, I was doing everything. So, you know, those times where you do just have to take a step back and do just need like a few days break, that is so okay. And when you take away that voice that's like, God, you're a failure, or how can you do that? Whatever it may be, or oh, you're gonna fail school now. If you take that negativity away, it makes the situation like, there's no then emotion attached to that. So once you have had your, you know, like maybe it's a day or 2 day break. If you're at uni, you know, you might go, oh, I'm just not gonna do any uni work for 2 days. I'm just gonna reset. If you're at school, it might be, oh, you know, you might ask your coach, can I have a day off training? I just really need it. Whatever it may be. If you allow yourself to do that and you allow yourself to reset and you have no guilt attached to that, you'll come back firing. You'll come back fully recharged, fully reset, no guilt attached to the fact you took time off. Realize how normal it is because you're human. If you can firstly realize the times when you need a break, you're just becoming so much more in tune with yourself and so accepting of yourself, accepting, oh, okay, you know what, I do need a break right now, and if I just try and push through it, like I think a lot of us do force ourselves to do, I'm actually just gonna become more burnt out and worse in the future, and like worse further in time. So if I can just stop now, pause for a day or two, reset, I'll be perfect. And just having no negativity attached to that. It's very, very important. Another important thing with self-acceptance is that if you can achieve self-acceptance, you're not relying on anybody else. If you are someone who relies on others for validation in terms of, you know, I only feel good about myself if my boyfriend tells me I'm pretty, or my boyfriend tells me I'm beautiful, or my friends say, oh my god, you look hot. If I'm only accepting myself in those times, what happens if they go away? Because they could. What happens if they leave? I'm then back to square one of, I hate myself. That's just not where we want to be. So if we can be strong, independent women, strong, independent men, and think, I accept myself without others. I accept myself regardless of if I have people telling me that I'm beautiful or telling me that, you know, my legs are strong, whatever it is. If you can get to a point where you accept yourself without them, it becomes so much more real and so much stronger, and you realize that your own life is so much happier and not on the foundation of someone else saying things. It's so, so key. But also on kind of the flip of that, ensuring that your life is filled with positive people. You do not want people in your life that negatively impact you and your mental state. If you have someone who, you know, is constantly saying like, oh my god, I hate this, or oh my god, I hate my legs, like, oh my god, I'm so fat, or, you know, or if someone who talks badly about other people, or maybe it's someone who's always talking about like going on a fad diet, whatever it may be, it's so dependent on like you and kind of what triggers you or what you struggle with. If they are talking about those things and you're kind of finding yourself going like, oh dear, or like if they're saying their makeup looks ugly, you're then looking at yourself and going, oh my god, mine must be horrendous then. There's the connection. There's their negativity you're projecting that onto yourself. You're kind of absorbing it, and there's now a new negativity created in you. That person then is absolutely of no benefit to you. You don't need them. You need positive people in your life. I mean, I've told you in my last video, my boyfriend literally tells me every day, oh, I'm beautiful, oh, I'm whatever it may be. And I know I just said don't like seek other people's validation, but that is just kind of constant positivity. That's different. Like, my self-worth isn't dependent on him saying those things, but him saying those things, you know, it's that kind of constant flow of positivity. My best friend, like, we hype each other up so much, like we make ourselves laugh. Like in our hotel, when we were on holiday, we were literally shouting, "Yes, queen," across the hotel. We did get some funny looks, but we didn't care, you know? We were hyping each other up. And that is what you need in your life. You need the people, the friends, the family that hype you up. They make you feel good about yourself on those days that, you know, you might not be feeling it. Not the people dragging you down because they're so negative and so just absorbing that energy out of you. You're allowed to be selfish, and you're allowed to put yourself first and realize who's good for you and who's not. You want the good people. You want the hype up people and the positively flowing energy people, not the energy suckers. And I think, kind of to finish this video, I always say, or I tell myself, the way that I love myself or the way I accept myself is projected onto others. So in a way, like, I feel like we almost have a responsibility to one another, because the way we conduct ourselves and the way we talk about ourselves, it is so easily projected onto other people. Maybe it's people who are younger than you or people that look up to you. You know, if they hear you saying like, oh, I hate this and I hate that and I hate this about myself, then they might think it's normal to just constantly list things that you hate about yourself and constantly be looking be looking in the mirror, being a critic, going, oh my god, I hate my eyebrows, and I hate my chin, and I hate these spots, and I hate these freckles. And that's then, you're projecting negativity onto them, and you're making them think that it's normal to just be so negative. Whereas if I can be positive and, you know, speak positively about myself and speak positively about the way that I act in life, they will then also be positive and realize, you know, it's a good thing to like things about yourself, and it's okay to accept that you'll get tired and need a break and need to pause. I'm showing them the way to act, the way to be happy and normal and positive, not showing them that it's normal to criticize, it's normal to be negative. So I think we almost all have a responsibility to one another, and that realizing how we love ourselves is projected onto other people. And that also helps with your mental state, because if you think of yourself as the way that you speak to yourself and the way that you accept and love yourself will affect how others do so with themselves, then you do feel like you have a responsibility, and almost in a way gives you a reason to speak positively to yourself and to accept yourself. I really hope that that makes sense, and I would love, if you have any questions, ask me, or again DM me, and I would love to answer them in a video, or any topics related to this. And I really hope this was helpful to some people, and maybe helpful if, you know, there's somebody you know that's struggling and you just maybe wanted a bit more kind of knowledge, or a kind of sounding board, or realizing that you're also, you know, if you are that person that is speaking really negatively to themselves, or just those little things you're realizing you hate about yourself, you are not alone. I was so horrible to myself for so many years, and I mean, I'm not saying that I fully accept every single part of me right now. There's definitely days where I struggle, and again, it's a journey. It's not something that, you know, one day you'll wake up and you'll accept every single part of you and it'll be like that for the rest of your life. You know, there'll be days where you're slightly more critical of a part of you than something else, or, you know, maybe the first time that you stopped and needed a break, you accepted, but the next time you do it, you're like, oh my god, why did you do that? You're a failure. But, you know, when that voice does kind of come and, you know, you're hypercritical, it's being able to go, no, it's okay, or no, that's what makes you strong. Whatever it is, it's being able to counter that negative voice, and that is such a big step in self-acceptance. And as I've said, once you can achieve it, it will just give you such a happier life and really let you enjoy the parts of life that are so important. Being able to, you know, go out for dinner and not be so consumed in, oh my god, how do I look in these jeans, or oh, are my legs looking too big in these jeans? No, shove that. Enjoy the food you're eating. Enjoy being in the moment, being with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your friends. Live in the moments of life and not being so consumed in your brain that you, like, those things just pass you by. There's so much more to life. I promise. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I so look forward to seeing you in my next video.